The Share Pickers Weekend Podcast with Justin, Paddy, Peter and Steve. The content of this podcast is not intended as investment advice. It is for information purposes only. People in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Welcome to the Weekend Podcast, joined by Pete, Steve and not Paddy. Again, I don't know, where's Paddy again?
I don't know. He should have a pay cut.
Exactly. He should start paying me now because he gets paid nothing. So away. He should be, it's a fine essentially. That's what should happen there. And he's not. Remember once he did say, "Listen, I can't do the Weekend Podcast. I've got to be in the first in the queue, B&Q when it opens." So wow, that's ambition.
Life goals.
Yeah, he's the Q before the B. He's really there. Cool. So is it starting to unravel for Boris? Do you think?
Oh, he's hanging on. I mean, it's insane, isn't it?
He can't get out of this, can he? It's like,
I don't think so.
Because I did see in Twitter there that apparently Stay Calmer, what's his name? Keir Starmer. He's been caught now having a drink during lockdown, apparently. Who hasn't? It's like, you know what? The politicians, they're all doing it. We're the only people. I saw this one tweet. This guy says, I remember arguing with my wife about whether we're allowed to take our son out together during lockdown, or I had to go out first, and then she can come out with him. He said, I feel like a fool now. They're all having parties. And then arguing, can we go to the park with my son together? That's that's as bad as it got. And they are. I got to laugh at the politicians who stuck up for Boris. I wouldn't have done that, would you? Would you? People say, no, he's apologised. No. He's apologised. I thought some people have distanced themselves. There's one politician, because let's be honest, if you go with him and agree with him, and he takes a tumble and falls, then you're tainted by him. Now, if you stand your distance, and maybe you've got some ambition for the top job there, then you just stay your distance a little bit. You're probably rubbing your hands thinking, Boris is out, my chance to get the PM job. I don't know if you saw Rishi Sunak.
Yeah.
He couldn't get further away from the house. He was like 200 miles away in Ilfracombe. It's like during the question time, you couldn't distance yourself further than Rishi Sunak did. And let's be honest, a lot of people are saying he could be the next PM. He's like, I'm working while that's going on in Westminster. I'm 200 miles away. It's like, I love that because I think I would like to see, he's a bit cardboard, isn't he, with the speeches? He's a bit scripted. Yeah. But I think he's pretty, I don't know, is he?
But boring is good.
Yeah, but he's, do you know his wife? That family are multi-billionaires, and they've got houses around the world. It's like apparently during lockdown, he went to a Malibu beach, house that they own. So, I don't know. I just said on Twitter, the first...
Was that allowed?
Yeah, but no, I don't know. I don't know if he went there down in lockdown, but while other things were going on, he was travelling around. But I suppose... I did say on Twitter that the first lie any politician tells you is that they're in it for the people. They're not.
Yeah.
There's a flaw in anyone who wants to be a politician. It's an ego trip. It's for them. It's a power grab, isn't it? To want to be powerful, you have to be flawed some way in your personality. And that's it. Yeah. And that's all it's about. I mean, if you want to wield power over the masses, there's something wrong with you. There are some who are genuinely in it to improve society, I think. Yeah. But I think the majority aren't, do you?
But absolutely. And Boris, how much can he personally take, do the honourable thing now?
Yeah. Well,
that's just, he's not even doing that. It's just so pig-headed. It's just incredible.
Well, I said, someone said, are you going to watch Question Time this afternoon, on the big day? And a lot of people say, oh, yes, absolutely. And somebody he's going to resign. I said, it's not in Boris's DNA to resign. No, he's honestly one of these people we don't even know how many kids he's got. No, that's how little transparency gives us. He's the Prime Minister. Yeah. How many kids you got, Boris? I'm not saying. How many wives you got? Not saying. He's like, what? That is.
But he must be power tripping. Like why would you even want all this stuff that's going on there?
Yeah.
Walk away from it. Just go. Yeah, I'm done. See ya. Yeah. I mean, why would you even want it? I'm not set to be the Prime Minister.
Something like that. He said, the thing is, people say he's a liar. A lot of people worked with him. He's an absolute liar, but he's got a bit of charm, and he gets away with it. People think, no, he's not lying. He's just a bit. He bumbles a bit. He's a bit of a buffoon. So no, he's a liar.
The whole excuse about him going thinking it was a party, you're like, it's just it's ridiculous, isn't it?
I didn't realise.
Yeah, and I know they bend the truth, but it's to a point you go, oh, come on. Even Tory defenders have got to listen to that and go, yeah.
Okay, yeah, but you're taking this for fools, Boris. And I do see that advert, one of the best adverts I saw, but it is the end of an aisle in a supermarket.
Yes.
It's basically bottles of wine, and a sign above says office supplies.
Yeah.
I thought it was cracking. Yeah, good advertising. But he's got.
There was never one with Cobra beer, like Cobra beer.
Yeah. Cobra beer.
Nice.
That's what it's about now, is it? Yeah. I tell you what, the bloody markets, man, they're hard work, aren't they? Huh?
Yeah. Not a huge amount going on, and then it's sort of just grinding low on certain stocks.
I think Friday, all my stocks are down pretty much. I think, apart from Trufin, I think, but it's so annoying. But this is, I genuinely, I've said this for a while now. I genuinely think the next month or so we'll see a good rally. Because of Omicron. I mean, and I said on Twitter there, isn't it funny how the mainstream media, well, I don't want to start saying mainstream media, it makes you like conspiracy theorists, but the media shout from the rooftops when the cases numbers are going up. They really are end of the world type of stuff.
Yeah.
Shove it down your throat. Oh, we can't handle this. It's going to go to 200,000 cases a day. And all of a sudden they're coming down. They're barely a mention.
Yeah, of course. There's no story, yeah. There's no drama.
I know, but at least wouldn't it be nice to see, some kind of, media outlet just be honest and unbiased, not fear-mongering, not sensationalism, just reporting what is going on there, because it seems that that is the top story when figures are going up. And then all of a sudden it's bumped down to the third or fourth story when it's coming down. Yeah. I'm thinking, well, surely if it was that important now, and now you're saying it's less important, just say that, we're over the hill, and that's what's happening. I mean, case figures are down like 4% in the last 7-day period, so it's coming out of it. But I think the problem is the markets. We're led by America a bit. America's still having problems with hospitals and all that, and they're just behind us. So I think maybe when they start coming up, and that's all it's about. It's about fear. The market's about. In fact, the market hates uncertainty. Not so much fear. It can climb a wall of worry if it knows what it is. If it's uncertainty, they don't know what's going on. So with Omicron...
But I would have thought this would have been the most certain that's going on, though, because we know what happens. Everyone's getting boosters. Are they doing boosters in America? I'm not sure.
Yeah, but not as much as us. I mean, we are... I mean, we're highly vaccinated here and me. So it's good for us. And there's lots of things... I mean, but the thing is, right... There's always going to be fear in the market. Always. There's always going to be fear in the market. And there was that book I read, 100 Baggers, people who had 100 baggers, and they all said, if I had my time again, I would never pay any attention to macro issues. Just look at the businesses that you're involved in. Yeah. And, okay, maybe say, well, will this affect the business I'm in? How long? For good, or is it temporary? But the people who actually achieve multi-bag returns over time never paid any attention to the macro. Even Buffett said... If Alan Greenspan, who was the head of the Fed, told me what his policy was for the next 10 years, it wouldn't affect my investing strategy. It wouldn't affect it, because I'm talking about, on the street. Look at the business we're investing, right? Why will, okay, you may look at, say, boom battle bars and escape rooms, and you think, okay, they may take a little bit of a hit just for the fear and the people's behaviour. But now, have you seen that report? Look on Twitter, people are actually going back, pubs, it was an article saying, Omicron, because they're saying that... people have gone back to the pubs and socialising straight away, very quickly. So, and also they've got a grant anyway, so that help the bottom line. So,
I was thinking that on those kind of leisure stocks, there's going to probably be a whipsaw kind of reaction, like a pent up demand thing. So January sales might be pretty poor, but February sales might rocket and be way ahead year on year because because of that reaction, people just rush out. I'm talking to people that I work with, all working from home and all that, and there's a kind of general groundswell now. People go, can we just come back to the office and we're on 2 days a week like we were before Omicron? And it's like, I think people can start too soon, come back to the office a little bit. And nobody actually wants to go back full time just because working from home is a really nice way of working. But it's that interaction, being in the office a couple of times a week, and that's going to happen. And it was pre-Omicron, we were doing that, but it's kind of February, March, are going to be starting to get back into that, surely. And then,
Well,
leisure
humans
activities.
are social animals. I'm not social. I mean, obviously, to varying degrees. But do you see Google? Google as work. I said as work from home had its day, because people are going to say the Zoom thing has run out of steam now as the novelty's gone. People do want interaction in the office, and Google is backing a return to the office with an investment that will expand UK. This is capacity by 50%. They said they're going to reinvigorate the work environment. They're spending 730 million and expects headcount to rise from 6,500 to 10,000 people. So there is this feeling, you're right, people want to go back to the work, and that will, of course, stimulate footfall. Footfall is up, actually. It's going. I mean, it's like Omicron, Brits flock back to pubs, restaurants, social spending climbs. So this dip, if anything, is worth buying. Absolutely worth buying, because, what's good, XP Factory has been going sideways for a while now. 30 pence you can buy at the placing price. And so what I'm saying about macro is that you should run the rule over it through your businesses and see will it affect your business. There's no point just being scared for scared's sake. Being scared, because everything, climate change, coronavirus, US tech bubble, low growth, QE, deflation, inflation, interest rates, global debt, there's always bond yields, all that stuff. There's always going to be fear out there. Always. Now, if you're waiting for all this fear to go away, you'll never invest. You never invest. You just got to get in there and look at the business level and think, okay, will it affect the business I'm in? Actually, will it affect the actual business? If not, get in there. If it's cheaper, buy some more. That's it, isn't it, really? I'm so frustrated with the market now, literally. 8 months, it's been horrible.
But can I once again champion, advocate, whatever, the presence of a fun corner in your portfolio? Asia Met on Friday, released a cracking RNS, stunning high-grade drill results, expand BKZ.
I saw that, stunning.
Stunning, that's the first word on the RNS. Boom, 12% rise in the day, thanks very much. And that brightens your day, that gives you a little fillip, that gives you a little, boost.
How can they put an adjective in there? Like that? Stunning. Who was stunned by that? That's in the RNS title.
Come on. We always say RNS should be kind of promotional, and that's a good example.
No, but I think that you've got to be, to me, right. That in the RNS, and not Asia Met, any company that puts descriptive terms like that overblown is a bit of a red flag. Who did it stun? who actually did it stun?
They were pleasantly surprised.
Did they actually get the result from the lab and they're all standing around going, I'm stunned by that. Absolutely stunned.
What would you prefer? Drill results raise a smile in the lab.
Yes,
I like that,
yes. Raise our eyebrows positively in the lab. It's a pleasant surprise, Pleasant surprise grades. Exactly. Literally,
quite good results.
When they go with boof.
I know, boom!
Boom! Rocket emoji. Just put that in RNS. Boom! Rocket emoji. That'd be good, that. Just in the top of the RNS title. Yeah.
This is going to the moon.
I know, moon. But that's what I'm saying.
Stop the moon.
I just think when people are doing that, they're trying to oversell it a little bit,
Do you think? But whatever, you can think whatever you want about that, but at the end of the day on Friday we had a 12% rise, and what I'm saying is having something like that in your portfolio does give you a little bit of a boost, and that's a nice little end to the week, but regardless of everything else that's going on.
Yeah, Paddy just said, sorry boys, I thought it was 8:15 for some reason.
Yeah, because
we always start 8:15.
We always start 8:15.
Yeah. So he's just logging in now. So listen, I put this on Twitter. Here's a question, boys. Here's a question, right? I don't know if he's waiting for Paddy for this, but how long does it take him to log in?
Yeah, but
it can't be that hard, can it? Surely now he's logging in. It's 8:16 now, so he's a minute late anyway on his time frame.
On his original schedule.
Yeah. So I did put this on Twitter, right? In the week. What's the difference? Right? It's not a gag. What's the difference between having a high conviction stock or high conviction on a stock and just falling in love with the stock? Because I see lots of people who've taken a hammer in on certain stocks. And I did a webinar this week. By the way, SharePickers Investment Club, visit sharepickers.com. New membership will be opening up just for a month on February the 15th. I'll do a video this weekend. But I did go over this. I said, when you get to micro caps that we invest in generally, there's two types of stock, right? There's the hope, pipe, potential, story stock, pretty much. And you mustn't fall in love with those. In fact, you mustn't fall in love with any stock. And there's also the fundamental sustainable base stock, which is back. One is a story stock based on news. For example, Asia Met, that was a news. It's a news driven stock. It'll pop and drop pretty much.
Whoa.
And if you look at the chart, you think I'm proved right there.
Yeah.
Because it's not. That has no sustainable basis. It has no financial backing to its valuation at the moment. There's got stuff in the ground there, yeah. Ooh, and the lab boy's got some of it out. Ooh, Boom! Yeah! Check it out, Kev. Stunning results there. Absolutely stunning. They've got that there. But they've still got to get it out. Still got to raise money to get it out. Or someone's got to buy them. Or whatever.
Or someone's got to buy them. Or, it's whatever. Something will happen. It'll be fine.
And then there's obviously the stocks.
When I'm on my beach, in 10 years' time, going, hey, talk
That's
about
no way to speak about a lady, Pete. You're penning in 10 years' time, the chance for a leg over.
Yeah, beach.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
When I'm on my beach, ma'am.
Yeah, that's how I speak now.
Yeah,
I told you it'd work out.
Yeah, and I think, but the difference between a high conviction stock, right, and just falling in love with the stock. What's the difference, do you think?
Substance and real proper actual potential.
Steve, what do you think? Just having high conviction of stock and just falling in love with the stock. How do you know there's a difference?
Well, I presume with high conviction, you've probably got facts and figures and stats to back your thoughts and feelings. Whereas loving a stock, you just love a stock. Probably
just love a stock.
Loving the stock, yeah. You're loving the stock, yeah. Yeah, I mean, in fact, Dan he said emotion. And I said, absolutely right. I think I tend to agree, And there's some people who actually tweeted about, stocks that they held and taken a hammering, and they still believe they're not falling in love with them. And I think they are a little bit. And I said, I agree.
Emotion's involved in all of it.
Yeah, but listen, of course it's involved in all of it.
I thought you were asking about what's the difference between, you fall in love with a stock, but, regardless of what it is, whereas when it's a high conviction stock, you have conviction because it, me and Steve were saying, it has something to it. There's actually it's something beyond the emotion. It's nothing to do with what you think.
So the difference is, I said, no, I agree that it's probably the difference between knowing a company is fundamentally improving by facts and figures, actually looking at, say, top lines, margins, all that stuff. Is it improving actually, and you can measure it, because when companies have no revenue, of course, all that, it's largely emotional. You think it's going to do this, and hope. So hoping a company is improving. So knowing a company is improving and hoping a company is improving. That's the difference, isn't it? Because there are loads of people who, I'm not going to mention any stocks, but it's taking a hammer in one of these big stocks. And I said, listen, if you're involved in a story stock, and I keep saying this to people, and some people don't get it. If you're involved in a story stock that's based on hope alone, hope, high potential, it's news-driven, by the way, and it's run about, say, 50, maybe 100 million market cap, you've missed out on the hope, high potential, easy rise, the start. Those stocks can explode. They generally start at sub 10 million market cap, sub 20 million. If you're in that stock, and it's 100 million plus, you've missed out on the easy money, full stop. The hope hype cycle is popped, and it's coming on the other side, and it'll take a long time then. With hope hype potential stocks, the chart goes up very aggressive. You get it right at the start. We did it with, like I said, going back in the day, did it with Asia Met. It rose quickly. It was a newish stock. It's been taken over by Tony and the gang, Tony Manini, and Vasarian was another one. EVRH was another one. And then it goes up crazily on hope high potential alone. It gets to a ridiculous valuation, and then they start, pushing out their final results. And they, hang on, this company is valued at 100 million. It's got 500,000 in revenue. What's going on here? And then people start to doubt it. They start, in fact, another one was Bidstack, wasn't it? It went up crazy. They were expected to do 5-6 million in revenue. First year out of gate. Turns out it was like 100 grand. Handbrake, and it started rolling over. And but I'm saying, so if you are in a company and you're hoping it will do better on news, hopefully coming out, that's you're maybe falling in love with stock, especially if it's at 100 million or 50, maybe even 50, 60 million. But massive, decent valuation, but they can't back it up. You're basing all that on hope. That's the trouble. That's where you get unstuck. But hope high potential stocks. You've got to be in before they're 10 million market cap, sub 20 million market cap. After that, it's gone. The bird is flown. The chicken is gone.
The horse is bolted.
The badger's dug.
That's it. Yeah.
The rat's got the pipe. The ferret's in your trousers.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You get the ant is in your crisps.
Right.
The wasp is in your shirt. That's it. That's how it's gone. Yeah. Where's Paddy then?
I don't know. There he comes.
Hello.
What are you doing, Pad? Where you been?
What time? I thought you started at 8:22.
Oh, did you? Yeah. It's a regular time there. Yeah. You missed the political part of the show, Pat.
Oh, that's a shame.
We were all backing Boris Johnson, saying he's done the honourable thing. He's apologised.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
good lad.
Yeah, fair play. He's done
Doing a wonderful job. Doing a wonderful job.
Yeah, I don't see how anyone can criticise him. I just find it's hilarious that anyone sticks up for him. These guys. I think, come on, come off it.
They were doing some vox pops on like BBC News the other day, and there were people in the street going, "Well, I think he's doing a good job considering the circumstances." You're like, no, he's not. He really isn't.
Yeah,
Like,
most of the circumstances he's created. The problem, the parties and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, but here we are.
Did anyone sort of extend the conversation to Brexit? And maybe if he's not able to do this, he's might have been lying on that as well.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Brexit he's got it done. It's oven ready. It's burnt.
Oven ready.
It's
Absolutely perfect.
It's undercooked. It's very undercooked. I don't know if he's cooked it well. I don't know if put it in Boris knows where even the knobs are, which they haven't on, to be honest. But it's oven ready. But there we are. Ridiculous. Pad, just talking about conviction. When did you come on? Did you sit there listening for a while, or what?
I've been on for half an hour, mate.
Oh, have you? You're on from 8 o'clock. He was there from the start. Just not very chatty this morning. Imagine doing that on a radio show. You hire a breakfast show host, and some days are just not very chatty. They just don't talk. What's wrong?
I'm in the mood for talking today.
Yeah,
just not into it. Yeah.
Do you know what? Steve, there's going to be 2 recommendations this week. In fact, Paddy's part of the recommendation as well. One was, what was that, Steve? That plant-based meat thing last night.
Oomph.
What was it? What?
It's called Oomph. Is it Oomph?
Oomph.
Oomph.
I don't know.
Yeah, the brands. Yeah.
And he went, what did he say? He'd picture of it, like that, pulled barbecue chunks made from soya protein. He said, Justin, these are good. Oh, can only get them in Tesco, though. Just made fajitas with them. There we are.
Yeah, they're very good, to be fair.
So I'll forward that on to Megan, because she does the shop. Amazing shop. She goes out there and does it in seconds, comes back with 10 bags. What? And I said she'd be out yesterday, but half a day. Like I said, she'll buy something she knows is not suitable for the house or for her, just so she can take it back, so they can do some more shopping. No, it's not going to work. Yeah, I'll go back and take it. I'll take it back. No, it won't work. She bought 2 pillows yesterday, right, for this chair, and she knew, and one of them was a bit odd, and she said, no, that's not going to work, is it? No, I'll take it back. Like she knew, she just wants to go back to the shops and do some more shopping. It's almost it's like crack. It's just like, I've never been on crack, but I assume that's what crack's like,
Steve has.
Yeah. Steve, what's it like?
What, shopping on crack?
I gotta try that. It's a new trend. It's not competitive socialising anymore. It's shopping on crack.
Just come to Croydon, lads. That's pretty much how it's done.
Yeah.
It starts off well, but then it ends off bad with the security guards face planting me.
It's fighting in the street.
That sounds like a Channel 4 show.
Yeah.
That's ready to go.
Yeah, it's very good. Anyway, the other recommendation, which Paddy mentioned, but he didn't want to stand behind it. It's like the kind of these politicians who don't want to stand behind Boris. I was saying, Paddy, you see Rishi Sunak? He was 200 miles away from the House of Commons, didn't endorse Boris at all. Even maybe the guy could be up for the job next. He said, how can I distance myself from this? And literally, Photoshop a photo picture of him creating jobs in Ilfracombe, making no reference at all to the explosion of Downing Street, that guy catching on fire. Just started, yes, I'm working here, nothing to do with Boris. It was like a different party. He mentioned it.
He also can't distance himself, mate. He lives there as well. So if there's a party in the garden, he would have been aware of it.
Yeah, he's a chancellor. No, but was he a chancellor back in the lockdown? He was, wasn't he? Yes, he was. Yeah.
So if he's trying to distance himself, but it's going to come backfire on. It's going to come back.
Well, it depends.
Him as well.
I guess it depends if he went to the parties. I guess it's not really his responsibility to.
Yeah, maybe his wife. The thing is, I was just saying, but do you know his wife and their family are one of India's richest families, and. So, does he live in 11 Downing Street? I mean, if you do live in 11 Downing Street, wouldn't you think? Those neighbours are noisy, aren't they? They're partying.
He was stood at the window wagging his finger.
Yeah, Boris, come on, turn it down, please, please, Boris.
It's a bloody lockdown.
It's the Conservative Party, mate. Yeah, just get into it. You knew when you joined. It was called that. What's wrong with you? But there we are. But I don't know who else. The thing is, right, it's about, he needs to go, but who's going to replace him? That's the thing, isn't it? Because...
There is a dearth of talent in that party, isn't there?
I was going to say, who is?
There is literally no one.
They're all oddballs.
When Jeremy Hunt looks like somebody who actually knows what he's talking about, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, but you start to think of come back Theresa May now, and she was like the most wooden prime minister I've ever seen. But she's starting to make sense compared to Boris. But anyway. I was saying, right, even in these hard markets, and yesterday, even Friday, when the markets closed, I wanted to shout to say, "Oh, what is so frustrating? Just want to grab the mark and give it a shake, come on, come out of it. What's wrong with you? Come on."
Well, out of interest, Justin, because your day-to-day life is all around this. What are you doing? But how do you cope with that? Because I
don't.
No,
clearly. Listen, no. The thing is, you've got to think longer term. Like I said, we are going through historical sort of odd times here. We've gone from a pandemic, and now we've got that's been. Like I said, the pandemic was like a big rock being chucked into a pond. Took it down, bounced straight back up. There's lots of ripples happening now.
Those bouncing ponds.
Well, yeah, the water.
Yeah.
So and the ripples happening about supply chains and all this stuff, and inflation because of that. There's high demand, people buying certain stuff. China's got this zero COVID policy. I think, what are you doing? It's a cold now. You can't have a zero COVID policy. If anyone gets cold, they shut the city down. Oh, there's a guy sneezed. Shut the city down. So you can't do that. And because of that, factories are being shut down, so they can't, fulfill any orders. That's putting up prices. Demand is there, but there's no supply. And we all know from A-level economics, if demand goes up, the supply stays the same or goes down, the price goes up. So when you think in those terms, once you get over this, once China gets over their zero COVID policy, which is, stupid, zero tolerance on COVID, then but you've got to look further down the line, haven't you? You've got to think, okay, maybe it's not going to happen this week, or maybe not even this month, but I think we'll get better figures. Better figures already come out, Omicron. But I think look down the line there, we've got trading updates. I think it could be well timed. There's trading updates coming out from many companies probably in February. I've been checking back, like Gfinity and XP Factory. I always get kind of escape when I keep thinking XP Factory, but traditionally they've done trading updates in February, so hopefully that'll get a bit of liquidity in the market. Gfinity yesterday, I don't know what's going on with that. People are trading with that. I don't know. It's just so frustrating. It's the most frustrating share I've held ever, I think. You start to think it's going to start making a rise, and then all of a sudden, some dickheads start trading it. Oh, dickheads! Stop trading it, you morons!
Right, okay.
It's like a computer game, isn't it?
Yeah, the reason exactly. The reason why a share price goes down is because you're trading it. That's it. And the biggest mistakes I've ever made, right? I mean, returns-wise, I said this on Twitter and thing, happened not because I didn't spot to invest in a winner. I've always found winners. It's not hard to find a winner, right? It's because I sold the winner way too early. That's it. And in difficult markets, it's important to have, and I say, let's get your head around it. In these type of markets, it's important not to have a short-term view. When people are selling into little rises, which brings the share price back down, so frustrating, it's important not to have that short-term view, thinking, go beyond that, because sooner or later, fundamentally, this stock will rally because the valuation backs that and the improvement in the business backs that. You've just got to have the patience to hang on. And I'm talking about, getting multiple returns on your initial investment, not 10, 20%. Stop trading it. The reason why it goes back down is because people are trading it, you dirty traders. Have a wash. Become an investor. Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think it's just maybe one person?
If it is, he needs to be sacked like Boris. Get him out of the market. Take his account off him. This guy is trading all the time. He's an idiot. Oh, 10 pence I made. Sell.
It's probably this.
You know what it is? Is it people who they've sold? They bought companies off?
I think it may be. It's a bit of both. But first of all, you get pump and dumpers who encourage they'll on Twitter selling a stock to you like crazy. Then all of a sudden they don't mention it again because they pumped it. They got 20%. They're out. And so people say, "Oh, that's the way to make money." Is and they keep saying they make money all the time. So that's the way to do it then. And newbies to a certain extent in this market don't have the confidence to hold because they hold. They're sitting on a paper loss, which is very emotionally. It's painful. You're sitting there. If you're like a person. Right, you got 20 years now till you retire, and you're going to try and make some money for your retirement, and you put 5-10 grand in the stock market, or say 10 grand as a round figure, and it's now down at 6,500 over the last year. That's very painful, isn't it? My retirement is looking worse than it was when I started. So that's quite painful. So you try and take profits on anything that's rising, and that doesn't help. It's a cyclical market. It will get better, it'll improve. It will get better. So.
Yeah.
If you're, I mean, I'm not talking about like, I said, stocks that have no fundamental backing. You can't guarantee whether they'll pop and drop anyway. I'm talking about companies that are improving, that's revenue, growing revenue, improving margins, and in hot sectors and are reasonably valued. They'll do well, honestly. You just need to hold them. Doing nothing is the hardest thing. Isn't that a song? Doing nothing is the hardest thing. No?
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe we should release one because that's it. Yeah, doing nothing is the hardest thing there because it is. It's so. When I'm sitting there, like I say, Pete, every day, and I'm looking at the markets, it's so tempting to just get out of it. It's so annoying. I'm down. But that's the worst place. But I think we're going to have I think this year's going to be quite good. When we get over this, it's the worry about, say, inflation. There's always worries, always macro worries. One worry replaces another worry. Omicron goes, we've got inflation next. But let's be honest, people are worrying about the inflation, right? They say the central bank, the Fed in America, are going to raise interest rates to 1.75%. Is that all? Is that all they're worried about? Maybe the bond repurchasing program, but that's not huge, is it? 1.75%. If a company if you can't deal with that on your balance sheet, if you've borrowed and you can't deal with 1.75%, you're not an ongoing business. You're not a viable business, are you really? Yeah?
Just take it out of your staff's wages.
Yeah, exactly, Pat. Run for
just run for
give
them a pay cut.
Yeah, and they're raising taxes. That's what they said. They wouldn't do that. They're doing that now. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the other recommendation.
What are your thoughts on the Tories? I always get the sense with you that you're wavering, and that when it comes to an election, you will probably vote for them again. Listen,
I said last time, I'm not a huge fan of Boris or anything like that, but I just thought the alternative was like that maniac, the Corbyn who was tainted by madness. Let's be honest, look at his brother. He's mad, and he was just too left for me. He was just too lefty. Now, if there's someone who I think will, genuinely be fair and also look after the economy in some way, and I'm not talking about just going completely left and trashing small business, then I'll go with them, I voted for Tony Blair. Okay, weapons of mass destruction seem a bit dodgy there, but because I thought he offered, a fair, opposition to, and at the moment, I don't know, Keir Starmer finds him very bland. Even Angela Rayner I find a bit more punchy than him, but she's very lefty, isn't she?
No, not really. I mean, she's definitely more left than Keir, but she's not Corbyn.
But she's annoying though, isn't she?
Yeah, she is annoying.
I really like her.
Keith Lemon? She reminds me of him. All right, look, Dad. I want to talk to him. I want to see Keith Lemon.
Keith Lemon for Prime Minister.
Yeah, but I mean, do you know what I'm saying? But there was no reasonable alternative
I think maybe you're judging reasonable alternatives slightly differently. Like what we have at the moment is a government that just has zero morals. Mm-hmm. And as weird as Corbyn was, and as strange as some of his policies might have been, I don't think he was a moral vacuum.
No, I know that. I think
we should have as a leader of the country someone whose heart is in the right place rather than being completely self-serving.
Absolutely, yes. I know that. But do you know what? They've got to grab you as well. And also, listen, we've all got our own interests. We all say, you can look after other people as well. But I just thought Corbyn had no regard for he didn't believe in his country's ability to do anything. Whether it's fake or not, Boris is pro-British, right? And I don't mean just banging, waving the flags, blindly. I mean, he sort of believes in. Yeah, if anything, he gives that hope cell. He's a bit of a, we know he's a bullshitter. We know that, but it helps when you're doing speeches and you're backing Britain and you say there is talent in this country and I believe in it. Corbyn didn't have that, and I didn't believe he stuck up for the. I didn't believe he stuck up for the business.
But the reality of Boris's time in charge is that he's absolutely destroyed the country. So
that's
it's all very well to have the banter, and to have the catchphrases and the things that get the front page of the Sun. But at the same time, if your policies then go on to completely destroy the NHS and trade and all the institutions of Britain, then everyone talked about. How Corbyn wore a scruffy jacket at the cenotaph, but the Tories this week have just completely ruined
there's all Queen's trust. I mean,
husband's funeral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know that was such a powerful image, that wasn't it? That the Queen sitting there alone, so powerful. But I don't know if there's anyone out there, though, Pad, who'd say, listen, the guy involved is going to ruin the economy because trust in NHS is a liar, but he's got some good catchphrases.
That's exactly what's happened, though.
That's why I'm voting for him. Come on,
exactly
who's got better catchphrases than Bob?
So many friends who I say to them, like, you at what point are you going to like start questioning this? But he's funny, isn't he? He's funny. I like him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, surely at some point that has to run out.
Yeah. But if you dig into that, though, doesn't that say that people want someone, or they can, it gives it a light relief. I know it shouldn't be. I mean, because, as I say, trouble with Keir Starmer, I'm surprised he's risen so high in the legal world, because I find him a bit bland, and I'm finding him very analytical. And when he's upset, people say, oh, look at this, now there's a barrister coming to the fore. I don't think he ever nails it. I think Angela Rayner has nailed Boris better than Keir Starmer has, Just get him on one question.
It's a combo, they should work better together, but they fell out, didn't they?
Do you know, if I was against Boris there, I'd ask the same question 6 times over, and say, yes or no? And just say, no, Boris, nothing else, yes or no? Were you there?
Yeah, but then they are falling down to the Tories' level of trashing institutions.
No, you say... But he keeps saying, trying to cool the heat, saying, let's wait till it's get investigated and all this stuff. He was trying to push it out, wasn't he? The big moment was question time, and he wanted to try and push it away and say, we have to wait. I've apologised, we have to wait. He didn't really apologise, which is really poor. I said, would it be nice to say sorry? I messed up massively. And also understand, even if I said this, I understand my leadership up for question here, and I'll leave that to the people behind me and whatever. But they don't say that. It's I did do this, but there's always a but there, isn't there? Like, just take responsibility for it, you fat maniac.
I would love to see you at the dispatch box, just getting up against Boris. As the leader of the opposition, you would just get so riled. It would be brilliant.
But after 6 questions, Vim said, just answer the question.
Yeah.
Were you at the party? Right? And after 6 questions, after 6 questions, you're not going to answer it. I'm leaving, and just walk out. I'll come back next week.
You can only do that once, can't you?
No, I'll come back next week and do the same thing again. Same 6 questions, unless you answer me beforehand. Pointless, this is Boris. You're lying to all of us, and we all know it. You're a liar. And they go, oh, you can't call him a liar. He's a liar. I said, I keep calling him, you're a liar, you're a liar, you're a liar. And you're not allowed to call.
You'd be like carried out kicking and screaming.
Yeah, but do you know what? Everyone knows he's lying. Just admit it. We all know you're lying, Boris. Yeah. All of us. You're all standing, the entire country's watching you now, lying, and we all know it, and you're the person who's trying to convince us you're not lying. Stop lying, Yeah.
That's why I am serious. I mean, it needs someone like you or that, what you're saying there, to do that, and that's what the country needs to really challenge this appalling government.
Yeah, they've done well on the vaccines, though. Anyway, listen, the second recommendation, let's go back to this, Steve had, right, apart from that barbecue plant-based pulled pork, whatever it is, was Ted Lasso.
Oh, yeah.
And,
like 3 years late, right?
I love that.
Yeah, 3 years late. And Steve put on his Facebook, said, listen, I didn't really initially pick it up, a bit late on the party on this, party being the operative word, but I watched it, and if you want a lift in January, a blue January, lift it up. He said, watch Ted Lasso. I watched the first one. And listen, me and the missus were looking for something to watch. And then she put on this Screws, I think it was, Channel 4. And I saw the promo. I said, it's overacted a little bit. And we started watching it. It was like all scripted, overacted, badly acted. And then we put, then I bit the bullet. Okay, I got a week free with Apple, but I've got $4.99 now, so I'm going to watch as much as I can in a week, everything, back to back. Get all the content in my head.
There's only 12 shows on it, so that'd be easy.
Okay, yeah. So then we got that Ted Lasso. We put the first episode on, and I was like, this is a similar kind of vein as the other one, a bit overacted, and then it's a bit pantomimish. But you know what? Got to the end of the first episode, now in the second, I love it. I absolutely love it. It makes me feel so happy and upbeat. And I think this guy's amazing, and that's what management's all about. Going back to politicians, it's like you deal with the small things that are bothering people, and you bring a team together. I was, you're a Spurs fan, but I was talking to my father-in-law over Christmas because we stayed there for a couple of days, and he got a season ticket holder at Spurs. And I was saying, being a football manager, it's not about, it's hard, isn't it? Because you've got massive egos, all earning several £100,000 a week, all think they're the best player. They don't want to play as a team. It's not them. It's not in the nature to play as a team. They want to be recognised as the man, don't they? But the thing is, that's the detriment of the team. So you're a people manager. How do you deal with that? And he's so positive, isn't he? That you think, I'll give this guy a break. Everyone's going to like him. Everyone starts to like him, don't they? And it's very good if you watch it. It's not about football.
I am genuinely amazed that you like it. I really wouldn't think it was something you would. I don't know. I just think you would think it's exactly not real enough. All a bit overacted and a little bit.
It's not. But I know it's fantasy, but you can have a. I mean, to have make a positive influence on people's lives like that is amazing. I mean, it's all fantasy. I know that, but there are people. There are books on management. There's some management legends out there who've done it that way. They've literally won the hearts of people, and just by doing small, kind things. And you think, in fact, they start to win you over. And And so I liked it a lot. I like it a lot. Didn't you? Have you seen it, Pete?
Yeah. I've watched all of the first season. I watched it a while ago. I started watching it, and I kind of stopped watching. I didn't really kind of get into it. But no, it's good. It's good. It's funny and stuff. Yeah.
So good recommendation.
It's very tame comedy, but then with lots of really bad swear words. Which sort of catch you out. But for me, that's a lot of the comedy came from a swear word you weren't expecting. Which is, as we know as comedy writers, is normally seen as pretty lazy. But I don't know. Somehow they seem to get away with it.
I like it. And what else is on Apple? It was worth it. That morning show.
The morning show. That's good as well.
Yeah, morning show is good.
Jennifer Aniston and the other. What's that?
Steve Carell.
Yeah,
I've not got through the second series yet, but the first series was excellent.
Yeah, I haven't got through the second one, but yeah, it is good. Yeah,
that's about it really. There's
a shocker in the second season.
Really?
Storyline, yeah.
A good one or a good shocking?
It's just shocking. That's all I can say. You just don't see it coming.
So it's worth sticking with it through the second series.
Definitely.
Okay.
I'll get back to that then.
You've got to stick with it. Like investments, boys. You've got to stick with it. The business is improving, you've got to stick with it,
They were earning... Jennifer Aniston was $8 million an episode for that.
No.
Wow.
And same with, what's the face, the other one?
Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
8 million?
When they get when they get $1 million an episode towards the end of Friends, and you think, and I remember thinking, wow, that's a lot of money for one episode.
But that's global and runs for 20, 30 years after it was broadcast.
They didn't know that at the time, though, did they?
Well, they probably. That's morning show's not going to have that longevity.
No, anyway. but Apple's got so much cash; it's unbelievable. So Apple can just
literally cash means nothing to them. Just get some from the offshore account and
exactly. If they want to throw money at a show, if they want to make Apple TV work, and in fact, as evidenced by us. We're now all, I assume we're all paying for it, are we? $4.99 a month? Yeah.
I think I'm still on my freebie. But
How are you still on a freebie? I got a week.
So I bought a laptop. I think
family account. That's the way you should do all these accounts, because I pay for Netflix.
Well, buy laptops every month.
I pay for Netflix Family. One of my sisters pays for Apple Family, and we're just all paying for the different. So we only end up paying for one service.
The Apple Family sounds nicer than Netflix Family, doesn't it? The Apple Family. We are part of the Apple Family. That sounds Netflix. Just sounds.
I took the laptop back though, so I've still got the freebie. But
that's good.
That's the way to do it.
Look at Martin Lewis, money saving expert. There's Paddy Look, right? Get a laptop.
My laptop.
Take it back. And get your Apple free TV.
Free TV.
So it's evidenced by us. I mean, we now out of 4 of us, 3 of us are legally paying. Paddy's illegal. By the way, Mr. Apple, if you're listening, Tim Cook. Apple, Paddy's scamming the system here, all right? But no, we are starting to... So So what are you paying for that? That's a level. This is like one on Wall Street. You ask people, what around you, what they're actually paying for, what they're saying. And you realise, now, I'm now paying for Sky, I'm now paying for Netflix, I'm now paying for Apple. Anything else paying for? I think Disney as well.
TV licence.
Amazon and Disney, yeah.
Prime.
TV licence. That's not a choice, Steve. I just say, do you know what I'd get if I were you boys? TV licence.
Some great stuff on there.
It's really impressive.
I've just subscribed to this new thing. Yeah, what is it? TV licence.
Do you need a TV licence if you've only got a TV with no aerial? But just
there was a couple of things about that. Well, court cases about that. But
no, it has to be. You have to be watching live TV to need a licence.
So if there's no evidence your TV's connected to an aerial, I think
you don't have a TV. You're fine. If you're watching live TV, if you're watching I don't know, like the One Show on iPlayer live, then you have to have a TV license.
Yeah.
But if you've got a laptop,
but if you're watching the One Show on catch up on your laptop, you don't need a license.
I don't watch the One Show anymore. I used to quite like it.
An example of a live TV show. That's all.
I was surprised that was a show. I was surprised. Do you know what? BBC used to dominate, but now it's like we never even hardly ever look. I'm looking for the news channel maybe, but it's like the kids never look at any of those channels ever. So it's nuts how things are changing, isn't it? But do you know what? That's clever. Apple and Google, by the way, they get you in the end, don't they? Because like I said, my photos, iCloud account stopped. At your limit, and I was paying. Yeah. Do you pay for storage?
Yeah, a little bit.
70p or something.
Yeah, well, I was paying that, but your family, and we're taking lots of pictures and videos and stuff like that. It fill up Google and Apple, and I've gone from
cheaper to do Dropbox.
I just deleted all the photos.
Yeah, delete your memories.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah.
Boring. When have I been to look at them again? Like these pointless photos. Like,
well, we have. Here's a good thing. We have Google Hub. And my mother-in-law has that as well, and I upload photos to that. I've got to make sure I'm uploading the right photographs, of course. It also goes in a imagine that.
I bet people have been caught out by that.
Yeah. Literally, in her kitchen.
Is that you, Justin?
Big screen.
In her living room. Yeah, she's got friends around for tea or whatever.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's friends.
Who's that guy with the massive?
Yeah. Who's that? Yeah, who's that little guy? In the middle. Yeah. He's old, but very small. What's he doing? He's got no clothes on.
Very red.
Yeah, but Justin, what are you doing to him? Untie him. So that's good. So that's because it's better than just watching art. So some art, you see pictures from where you've been, So anyway, that's that. But they got me. I went from 200 gig, I think, to 2 terabyte on Apple. That's gone from £2.49 to £6 something. So that's anyway. Right. Do a hard market, finding the markets. Do a hard market. Do you know Cathy Wood? I've heard of Cathy Wood.
No.
She's championed in America. Well, she was being championed by a bit of a genius investor going back, I'd say, start of 2020. She's got the ARC Innovation Fund, right? And in 2020, it's worth about, I think, what's that, I don't know what the denomination is there, but 1,000, I think it's 1,000 million, maybe, I don't know what it is. But it went up to 25,000, right, start of 1,000, 25,000 at the start of 2021. Now, she had 50% money outflow. She's invested in all high valuation, nosebleed kind of tech stocks in America, the ridiculous, and they take them hammering. And now she saw $352 million exit on Wednesday alone. Biggest day ever. And now she's down, assets under management, down 50%. But she does videos every day. But she's very, and not a stereotypical fund manager, because she's a middle-aged lady in America. But if you go on her YouTube channel, people watch it. She's got this kind of, almost Elon Musk-like followers, that believed in it. Because she's 5 times the money in this fund in 2020. But now she's having a hard time of it. What does that say to you in some way? It's all about, it's all about growth. No valuation there at all. It's crazy. And that's what same reason why I think crypto will explode, because no one can justify the valuations under Bitcoin. So all I'm saying is, lads, is you've got to, if you get both, if you get growth and valuation in stocks, it's supported to a certain level. If we think it's volatile, imagine her now sitting there, having 50% of your money withdrawn by clients from a fund. That is scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have a question, actually, that I was speaking to my friend about. So what's that protection cover? Like if someone you invest your money with, you get that, is it covered up to £85,000?
Oh, no, that's if it goes bust, isn't it?
Yeah. So I've got all my money in Hargreaves and Lansdowne, and I'm using that as my pension, and I'm putting regular money into my funds. Now, what would happen, if obviously it was over £85,000 and that fund goes, the Hargreaves and Lansdowne, not that it probably went bust, would I lose all my money up to all? Because surely that money's already invested in different companies. It's not with Hargreaves and Lansdowne.
Exactly. So they are. Yeah. You are. I think that's right. I mean, people say, "Oh, what about having all my money in one stockbroking account?" If it's in cash, and that stockbroking company goes bust, and you go over sort of 85 grand, I think it is, isn't it? So anything above that.
So it's only the cash that's covered then.
Yeah,
so if it's in a company,
I'm sure it is.
I think they're just the middleman, aren't they? You own the stocks.
Yeah, they're a broker, aren't they?
So if, say, for example, I had £100,000 in a Vanguard account, and then Hargreaves and Lansdowne went.
What?
I haven't got 100, but I'm saying, for example,
yes.
And then Hargreaves and Lansdowne went bust. I would still have that 100 grand invested in the Vanguard fund.
Yes, so the broker.
It's the underlying company, isn't it?
Yeah. So another broker would just take over the assets, over the management of that fund. So it's invested in the fund. Yeah. So if you invest in like 5 companies, for example, you invest. They're just a nominee account. They hold all the admin for you, basically. So but you are invested in businesses, so it's fine.
I tell you what, old Harry and Larry. But do you hear Steve on the podcast this week? No, what?
He said we're going bust.
He said we're going bust. Did he? Yeah. After everything we've done with him, everything we've helped him with, lose all his money,
all the fees we charged him,
taken off him.
Yeah. all those fees that we charge him, and he has the cheek to see we'll go bust.
Next time he puts in an order, you watch what happens. Yeah, you watch. We'll charge him like £1 million.
Yeah.
But yes, that's a very good question, Steve. 85 grand. It was 100 grand, wasn't it? But it went down, I think. But 85 grand. But
no.
Oh, wasn't it?
It was 65. It went up.
Yeah, it went up.
Oh, okay.
The protection came in after all the whole. What was that? Was it Northern Rock and all that, wasn't it?
Yeah, Northern and the Iceland banks. In fact, we I remember at the time they were offering Iceland banks. They were offering like 7% interest or something ridiculous for the financial crash, and you realise that's a bit nuts. And in fact, my father did have some money in there because I advised him to put some money in there, just in a bank, and it was protected, the FCA, but it went bankrupt, didn't it? And but he got his money back. Yeah. So anything else, boys? What is it? Something else? Yeah. Oh, by the way, training updates happening. I think in February for I know Gfinity and Escape Hunt, and I'm hoping Biome. What else is there? G-Tech, yeah. Oh, Paddy's falling in love with green hydrogen, yes. Do you know what? It's a massive area. I don't know a bigger area than this. Every big company, like I said, even more now, every day. And the way this works is that the more people that invest in this, the price of it comes down. And that's the way adoption happens, you know? When any new sort of technology comes out, you get the first adopters and they're very expensive, but you've obviously government grants. But I mean, on any technology, and the price comes down. I mean, if you look at the price of solar, it's like, I think it's something like a tenth of what it was, you know, originally. So that's what happens. But you liking the green hydrogen, Pad?
It's it's the future, isn't it? I like the idea that they're already going to start sneaking some into gas supplies.
Yeah.
They reckon 10%. They said they could probably squeeze in without anyone noticing. And then to switch over, all the infrastructure's there. It's just ready to go. They just need to change over your boiler. So I don't know whether they can do that town by town.
It's expensive, though, isn't it?
The efficiencies, but the efficiencies, Steve. Just imagine the efficiencies.
It'll get you, Steve.
How good that is for the planet.
Yeah. All they've got to change is all the pipes there. All they've got to change is a couple of underarm spod rockets and overhead candouglies and all that stuff. You know?
Yeah,
it's actually pretty simple. If we're talking about the biggest polluters in the country, think about every house having its own boiler, burning natural gas. I mean, that's pretty crazy. If we can switch that over to something that's green and then create that green.
So where would the hydrogen come in through the gas pipes then?
Yeah.
It's just a gas.
It'll be posted to you.
But hang on, is it hydrogen?
Steve, it's a subscription service. You sign up through Apple TV, and they give it to you in an envelope.
Okay, but as far as I'm aware, I just said it very nice.
Spit out, Steve.
As far as I'm aware, gas isn't that pressurised coming through pipes, where hydrogen's highly pressurised, though, isn't it?
No.
Is it not?
The storage it is. I think transport is not. I mean,
if you store it in a tanker, it would be, but otherwise it's just the gas. You might be right. They might have to up the pressure in some ways, but I think that most people's copper pipes are sufficient to handle this.
It can't be pressurized because, like the postman, his bag will explode.
I actually did watch a thing on because the concerns of hydrogen being obviously quite explosive from World War II when the blimps were exploding. But apparently, even the car, they fired a bullet into one of the hydrogen tank in a car, and because it releases so quickly, it hasn't got enough time for it to ignite. Yeah,
it's the same with normal gas though. People think that's really explosive. It's really not. You have to work really hard to light it.
Normal gas.
Yeah. Like natural gas.
normal gas. Just put the normal gas in for me, son.
I took a circular saw to a gas pipe when I was doing my house. I didn't do it intentionally, but nothing happened. It was fine.
Really? Oh, didn't catch on fire.
There was a gas leak. Apart from that,
we didn't have it.
To the Bunsen burners at school. It didn't. It just lit that bit. It doesn't blow up the whole system.
So it wasn't like a big 20-foot flamethrower because of the house. We didn't have.
There's a little bit of that, but you just turn the gas off.
He doesn't have any eyebrows, but
yeah. So they say energy operators of the gas grid said this morning, this was 2 days ago, that they will have the capacity to blend 20% of hydrogen fuel into the regular gas grid from next year. That's from next year. So listen, do you want to know how hot the hydrogen market is, right? The green hydrogen market?
No.
Okay. All right, good night.
Okay.
So this is the last thing, right? And in fact, you'll probably see this, Pete, because you're a big follower of me on Twitter. How hot is the green hydrogen market? ITM, right, is a company, is a leading UK electrolyser producer, and that splits the atoms. That technology does that, splits the hydrogen from the water and all that stuff. Their valuation at the moment, right, is $2 billion. They're valued at the market cap $2 billion. Their interim revenue, 6 months, 4 million. So let's say they do 10 million this year, double that and add a bit more, 10 million. They're still valued at 2 billion. They raised 250 million just now, easily.
Yeah.
Like I said, my preferred play here is different business, of course, different business model, but it's GTech, capital light business, market cap 22 million, cash 6 million, revenues for the year last year was 4 million, so almost half of what ITM are, but they're I don't know what's the difference in that. 2 billion, 22 million times 10, 100 times more expensive, are they? More value. But they've also got 2 green hydrogen hubs in play already. That will double the revenue. I mean, it'll add another sort of 9.4 million on top of the 4 million from the current business. That's on an EV basis. That should be 130% higher than where they are now, valuation-wise. And they've got 21 of these in play already under review with SGN, which is a gas network operator. So it'll be this will be one of those. This will be one of those.
They shouldn't need to raise, should they?
No, they don't need to raise because they don't expend any money on. So they offer their services, as the go-to guys to bring the project together with all the expertise, the software, and all that stuff. They get 20% for each project, and each project finances at an operating level. So each one is a standalone sort of business. So it's very clever, and I think this could be one of those almost Argo blockchain. Wait, have patience. It will take off. It'll go berserk. Sooner or later, people will catch on to it. It will go berserk. And this will do... I see this being easy. I mean, already now, this year, they're starting to sort of roll out these hubs or the final investment decision this year. And then 2023, they roll out. But I think when people catch on to this, and the hydrogen market is very, and like I said, they're not hope high potential. They've got revenue. Once these things start kicking in, the revenue will kick in. I think it'll do 5-10 bags, probably. I know it's a lot of hype there and a lot of hope, but I just think it will. I think it's one of these hot stocks that'll go crazy. Crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I need to buy some more.
Yeah, but yeah, it just didn't make any sense. 'Cause to me, okay, ITM have the tech, IP on tech, and they're one of the leading, but they also, it's priced in, they're 2 billion already. It's like, on 10 million revenue, that's crazy priced. I mean, the futures for that is priced in, and yet it isn't anywhere near priced in for GTech what they're going to be doing. So I just think it's one of these things. Have a bit of patience. It's one of these before I've jumped out of so many stocks, even from Audio Boom to Open Orphan to Argo Blockchain to Powerhouse Energy. Jumped out, the story was right. We understood what was going on, but jumped out way too early, and it went berserk afterwards. And like I said, the biggest mistakes I've ever made in investing is generally not finding winners. It's not holding them. That's the problem. I haven't held them long enough. So, and I see that with all of my portfolio. Thank you very much.
Good night.
Yeah, good night, and that's it. Anything else, Pat, to recommend on TV? Anything at all worth going? I see. Yeah.
I don't think I've watched anything on TV this week.
Okay. What are you doing then? What are you doing in your life?
I haven't really watched much TV.
But what else do you do?
I do some work. I do some training. I catch up with friends. Bit of a social life.
You still do friends, do you? I don't find it funny anymore. Friends.
I'm sticking with friends. Yeah, I think I might stick with that as an idea for the future.
Yeah. They got paid £1 million an episode.
Yeah, I know. And that was down to David Schwimmer's father, the agent. Got a deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you read something about that, it's like apparently he was an agent, so he got David Schwimmer the deal. And he said, "Right, I'll get all of that deal," and they got all £1 million each. And so, that's cool. Anything else, boys? Pete, Steve, boys, Steve,
no,
Pete, Pat?
No, not really. Oh, except I won't be here next week because I'm off to France.
Oh yeah, Steve.
I'm going to France next week as well.
I'm going today.
Oh really?
Are you?
I'm going on Tuesday.
Look at showing off.
Yeah, just showing off. But no, that was fantastic news. Yeah, well, snowboarding. That was fantastic news on Thursday because we'd pretty much written it off. We're like, yeah, it's not going to happen. And then that announcement was like, okay, game on.
Yeah, that worked out well for France. Locking down. It doesn't ever work. You can't stop air travelling through the air. It's like, people, it's ridiculous. And France have to stop the dirty British coming in, stop them in. We don't want them coming in. Now their infection rates are worse than ours.
No. It's so much more to do with Brexit and other things because some of our group come from Ireland because we met them last time and they're our holiday buddies now, so they're coming. And they were totally fine to go. That's fine. If you lived in Northern Ireland, no, you can't come because you're in the UK.
Exactly, it's politics. It's
insane politics.
No, he's a Macron. I'm not a big fan of Macron.
But we did the same to them last summer. We stopped them coming to our... So, it's tit for tat as well. So.
Tit for tat.
pathetic.
Yeah. But anyway, there we are. Whereabouts are you going, Pad?
Paris.
Oh, okay.
Oh, gay Paris, eh? Is that with
it's work?
With work or romance?
It's work.
Oh, okay.
It's work.
All right.
But yeah, the prospect of having to spend 2 days in quarantine when we arrived was much fun. So I'm much happier now that we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I found an interesting fact about France this week.
Oh, let's end on this because it's going to be cracking, and there's no way we can talk. We can announce. Give it a bit of room, give it a space. Right, Steve, off you go, fella. We'll end on this.
Right, it's even funny where I heard the fact from, actually, but it was confirmed by someone else. I was actually watching Emily in Paris on Netflix, and I didn't realise it's illegal for bosses to email their staff on the weekend.
Oh yeah, they've got strong unions over there.
Mm. Did you boys know that?
I quite like this stat. I think it's a good stat.
There you
go. Right. Okay.
It's about work-life balance, isn't it?
Let's end on that, though, shall we? Yeah, it's about work-life balance.
Cheers, Steve.
Yeah, cheers, Steve.
Always,
yeah. Not from Pete.
No. Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
The Share Pickers Weekend Podcast with Justin, Paddy, Peter and Steve. The content of this podcast is not intended as investment advice. It is for information purposes only. People in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.